You're listening to the Arcane Focus Network.
Previously on Star Raiders.
I can't believe you've killed a character.
Tom, my God.
17 points of piercing damage to Brandon. Okay, so he loses another resolve point.
He's down to zero.
Oh, he's
Zero
dead.
resolve
Oh
points.
no!
It didn't
He's
matter.
dead.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, are we fucked now? Like,
We
Are
we are fucked.
No. I've gotten through situations like this before. We can do it again.
At the very least, we need something that we can send ahead.
what do you need to replace Bantam?
I think that's our first objective.
Okay, so you use the map, you find a workshop, and you start heading there. To mechanically rebuild a drone from the ground up takes a full 24 hours.
You guys keep an eye out. I need to focus.
As we're kind of on Astra there, she's working away, she's tinkering, she's fixing things. We pull in closer and closer to her face and, gritting her teeth and just kind of furiously taping things together, moving them, and we go closer and closer, kind of past the strands of her black hair that's hanging down in front of her face and closer into her eye, and we disappear into darkness, and we hold there. But then slowly, as light starts to come into the picture, we see that we're moving through a tight passageway inside the guts of a starship. And we hear a name echo through this passage. Astra. We glide past cables, pipes, switches, all seemingly held together with little more than ion tape and positive thoughts. Astra. Past dials, digital readouts that flare and change, emitting small beeps and buzzes. As we reach the end of the tunnel, we turn 180 degrees to face the open end and see a man crouched, peering inside. He's in his late 30s, jet black hair, very strong features. Think to yourselves, John Hamm. He's got a strong voice, but it's calm, reassuring, and he speaks again. Astra, please come out.
No. I told you I'm not coming.
The man sighs and sits down next to the access passageway with his back against the wall. He gently bites his lip as he begins to think and glances around the room. Then he turns his head sidelong to face the passage. There a lot to fix in there today? And there's a pause, and then a meek voice responds.
Yeah, the microfilament drive plates are out of alignment again.
Oh. Really? He speaks playfully, almost knowingly. Could have sworn you fixed those last week, and you said that'd be good for 6 more jumps. And then, with only silence as his response, a smirk tugs at the corner of his mouth. Come on, Goose. Come out here. Talk to me. And we hear hesitant footfalls echo through the passage, and then we see emerging from the darkness Astra Dorkin, no more than 15 years old. She's gangly, as teenagers are, has a pair of goggles on her head, flanked by the messy bun of jet black hair. And she wears these junky old overalls that bear a very clearly homemade patch that says Astra, and below it, Mechanic. And she ventures no further than the mouth of the passageway, and she just settles there, hugging her knees, chin resting on them. And the man eventually turns his head to glance at her sitting next to him before looking out at the room once more, thinking, well, she's not totally out, but it's probably the best he's gonna get. I know you're upset about your birthday, Goose, but you know we had to take the job.
You said we could stay with the fleet until after my party.
I know. I'm sorry, but your mother managed to line up a client that was going to keep this bird in the sky for quite a while.
I don't care.
You don't care about the ship?
No, I don't care about the client.
That may be, but we need to make a living, Goose. We're trying to make it up to you with this holiday. And come on, it's not every day you get to see a newly terraformed planet. And hey, I've heard they even have pink elephants down there. Astra just rests her head on her knees again and offers no response. Her father grimaces and nods his head. Oh, okay. He stands up. Well, just make sure you patch up the portside power couplings while we're gone. I could hear him buzzing on my way down here. And then he pauses for a moment and gestures over to a powered-down drone in the corner. But you know, I'm sure Bantam could take care of you if you change your mind. We're leaving in an hour. And he lingers for a moment, perhaps hoping that she'll say something. But she just continues to stare forward, avoiding eye contact. And as he turns away and walks out of the room, though, her eyes do follow him out. Days later, we see Astra's legs sticking out from a hatch under a computer console on the bridge, and Bantam's perched just near her, and she sticks out one of these gangly arms.
Hand me the splitter wrench.
Blip, blip. Bantam gives a happy beep, and a manipulator arm extends and grabs the tool, and then he places it in her hand, and she kind of feels for it for a moment and then grasps it, but without even seeing it, she says,
No. The 7 gauge. What are you trying to do? Short circuit the ship?
a sassy beep comes in response as he hands the new one.
I don't need your...
Astra's interrupted by a beeping sound. Beep, 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 beep. There's a flashing light on the main desk. A communication is incoming. She hikes herself out of the hole and wipes her hands on her overalls, and as she plonks herself down in the pilot's seat, it spins around. Then she coolly catches herself after completing a full rotation, presses the button to answer. She leans back, arms behind her head, and props her feet up on the console.
This is Astra Dorkin of the Rooster. How can I help you on this fine day?
An official-looking man appears on the view screen, but his expression is solemn. Miss Dorkin, this is Sergeant Miller from the Colony Protectorate. I'm afraid I have some bad news. And we don't hear the rest of the conversation as the man begins to speak slowly and hesitantly with a pained expression. Astra sits up and furrows her brow, and she looks right at him. She says something, asking for clarification perhaps, and a response comes, and she softly mutters something and shakes her head. The man bows his head slightly and nods. Astra's eyes begin to well up, and her gaze slowly drifts up to the viewport, where the biodomes of a newly terraformed planet are visible, bulging off the surface. Our focus shifts, and we see a hollow photo of Astra and her parents kind of perched on the edge of the viewport. Astra's expression is helpless and empty, yet her pained eyes seem to stare straight through us as we stay fixed on her face again. As she gets a little bit older and the years go by, we see overlaid, almost in slow motion, a contract stamped cancelled, clients apologizing and taking their business elsewhere, overdue bills and payment demand notices piling up, electronics on the ship sparking and smoking as they begin to fail, a deal being made and a handful of credits given as the rooster is scrapped, and then freighter after freighter after freighter after freighter, never really finding a place. And then finally we see her in a small, dingy office, and a voice echoes out. Astra? Astra? Miss Dawkin? Astra shakes her head and pops on a smile.
Yes, sorry. What did you say the ship was called?
We now see Astra in her familiar Edge Corp overalls, with a duffel bag slung over her shoulder and Bantam click-clacking along behind her. Tick, 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 tick. And as she reaches a ship, she stops and looks up at it, taking it all in. As her gaze is pulled higher and higher, she is drawn back down to the sound of footsteps, softly clanking down the ramp. And a Yosoki in a brown trench coat stands there with a friendly grin.
Oh, lassie, you must be Astra. Welcome aboard the pig.
Whoa, Sawbones.
Burzin appears behind Sawbones and walks out, standing next to him. He looks younger, with a bit more hope in his eyes. And he flashes a winning smile to Astra before turning to face Sawbones.
What did I say about greeting new crew members?
Oh, do I have to, Captain? It's so cheesy.
Come on.
Burzin gives him a knowing glance. Sawbones takes a deep breath reluctantly. He says,
Well, lass, welcome to the family.
Hey!
a smile tugs at Astra's lips. She reaches up and clasps the butterfly pendant around her neck. Quietly she says to herself,
Fortune favors the bold.
She takes a deep breath and walks forward. And as she walks past us and we get closer to her face, we kind of pull out again, and we see the Astra we know today furiously working away at things, just turning something, working intensely but with purpose.
I call upon you, Goddess Divine. I stand before you, sacred shrine. Spread your wings, let in the light. I pray you'll help me do what's right. Help me steer me from what is wrong, and any evils for which I long. Help me live out every day according to your righteous ways. Let your voice ring loud and clear to comfort me through all my fears. And when at times my faith is weak, in you, my goddess, please let me seek. I call upon you, Goddess Divine. I stand before your sacred shrine. And I step back. And I've finished working on my new robot. And I've just etched in a butterfly onto the surface at the front, taking pride of place. The Bantam's name is no longer. The Bantam is now known as the Banshee.
Oh!
And there's been a few modifications made. The Banshee is definitely kitted up for defense. He has giant guns, which is lovely. And I was hoping
Nice.
that we could add a little something extra as a bit of a token gesture for our missing Tiny. I'd love to be able to install some sort of like a flamethrower thing that comes on cue when I say a catchphrase. Hopefully I can say Alakazam and he can fry our oncoming assaultees. That's my hope. That's my little...
Very on brand.
It's like a code word, is
Yeah.
it? like a trigger
Yeah,
word.
that's exactly right. Anyone in our group can say it, and hopefully, if DM agrees, we can have him flamethrower away. It's our little tribute. Fiery tribute.
Going for a real Ripley, Swiss Army knife sort of gun combo, eh?
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
So usually the flame throwing weapons in Starfinder are heavy weapons. And I was like, oh, they're heavy. They must do like pretty crazy damage. And you know what? They don't. They do a nice amount of damage. And whilst Bantam doesn't have heavy weapon proficiency, Murray came to me with this, and I was like, that's fucking bowler. This has to happen. And so we can say that, in all of this, maybe there's like a little old 2-stroke motor or something like that you pulled off something, and then you kind of just like jury rigged to Bantam, along with pull off the nozzle of an air pressure hose thing so that it can shoot out flame, something like that. And you manage to rig up a flamethrower on this that will do 1d6 of burn damage in a 15-foot cone and critical d4
Fantastic.
of burn.
Nice.
Yes, wonderful.
Can I react to the vignette?
Yes, please.
Because very good, very well done. I was taken away with the descriptions and the family ties, the sadness. There's a lot of sadness going on there. That's
It's a lot of sadness.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
fun times.
A lot of loss. That
Yeah.
Ashley's experiencing even more loss there, but also reminded of her new family that she got. But yeah,
Family, yeah.
yeah.
Just gotta keep reminding myself.
I thought that was pretty on brand for Brosen.
Me too.
That kind of description of things, and Astra finishing up Banshee. I almost said Bantam. That constitutes the full 24 hours of work. But of course, in that time, we had Sawbones and Burzin told to not disturb Astra. What are they doing in this time? If you recall, you guys had a bit of a look around, and yeah, what are you guys doing?
Well, one thing I know I want to spend some time doing is, if everyone recalls, as we were running out of the garage, I swiped Tiny's camera, phone, personal journal kind of computer thing. As part of just coming to terms with what happened and wanting to remember Tiny a little bit. I just start browsing through some of the old photos and all the places that we've been and the things that we've done.
As you're sitting there, maybe perched on a little stool or maybe behind the desk or somewhere, and you lean out and whip it out and blip, kind of turn it on. I imagine it's like the little ones in The Expanse, how it's a clear little thing and kind of screens extend from the side digitally. But you're actually greeted with a password screen. This is his personal computer.
Oh!
It's gonna be something basic like
Alakazam!
yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I was about to say Alakazam. I'm not doing this to try to rob the guy of all of his deepest, darkest secrets. I was just hoping to have a bit of nostalgia. So I'm not about to go try to break into his personal computer, because that just feels wrong.
Try to jailbreak
the
and just wipe everything.
The body's probably not cold really at this point, and I'm trying to crack into his devices.
Think about, is this something that might help him? Could there be information in here that would maybe help him settle Tiny's account, if it were? Not literally in the financial sense, but how are you going to contact his family and everything? What if you're not getting off here?
Yeah. So, that was kind of where I was going, is I was going to spend a bit of time
medic
trying to get into the device and just browse through the photos, and then I know that Tiny liked to send, communiques back to his family and share what was going on. And depending on what I found, I was going to sort of think about the best way of informing them as to what's happened, so it's not just the standard 2-line letter from Edge Corp saying we regret to inform you.
Yeah. They don't even use the word regret.
Yeah.
It's like, we inform you.
Oh, and by the way, you owe us 600 credits for repatriation fees. Yeah.
100% Edge Corp.
Something you kind of just said there, Dan, which I think I would equate this quite well to that. You've seen the World War II movies and stuff, the medic when someone dies, they're kind of
Yeah.
very mechanical about it. They grab the photo, they grab the letter.
Grab the letter.
Of course they're going to read the letter to see who it goes to, everything. They need to know these details so then they can pass it on if they need to.
They recopy it so it's doesn't have blood all over it, that kind of stuff.
That's going above and beyond. But yeah, I'm sure some of them did that.
Yeah, I think that's, like we said, it's kind of part of the ritual, So how would you like to approach this? Did you want to attempt to guess the password, or would you like to attempt to bypass the security?
If I had a better memory as Mark the player, I feel like I would like to attempt to guess the password. But I'm actually just thinking about all of the things I know about Tiny that are detailed. And aside from Alakazam liking a wrench and Technomancing the Stone being his favorite space YouTube show, I'm coming up blank.
Okay, well, in that case...
so I'll attempt a computer's check to...
attempt to bypass the security. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a 2 for a 9.
A total of 9.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Can I try a history
Yeah,
check to see if I remember anything important about Tiny?
You're unable to bypass it. Yeah, so go ahead. You could make a culture check, which is, intelligence based.
Okay. All right. This is good. That's better. It's a 12 plus 8, so 20. To try to guess a password based on what I know of Tiny.
Actually, that was a DC 20 to pass that one, so nice work. You figure out that the password is actually Technomancing the Stone, but all of the vowels had been replaced by numbers and symbols. So you're looking through, and there's, all your standard stuff's in there, including all of Technomancing the Stone's episodes, which you would have downloaded for your long drift journey. And as you're looking through these pictures and, you're seeing journal updates and all that sort of thing, you notice that from the time he started on the pig, there's a lot of activity, constantly taking photos, selfies, sending mail out, lots of contact. But you then start to see that from around the time of the Casinus job, and then, especially after Akaton, there's a big drop-off all of a sudden. There's very few pictures taken after that time, and most of the correspondence is from his family reaching out to him, and with some, occasional short responses sent to them. You notice as well, and I mean, this isn't something that your characters would know, you guys know this, but he documented his encounters on the Sun. So he wrote a little bit there about his discussion he had with Emerson Kane and how he'd rather give the money to his family, how he was feeling after the various fights you guys got into, and especially how the crew voted 3-2 to work for the Calderans. What you're getting from all of this information is a real sense of separation and alienation. And something else you notice in the notes section is a series of files that really catch your eye. The first one's an official request for a transfer off of the pig. It hadn't been sent yet, but it was drafted a few months back.
Oh, no.
You also see a series of notes that appear to have been addressed to each of the crew members. It's got each of your names on there, and it's titled Notes on How to Say Goodbye.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
So he's written us all goodbye letters, hey?
And finally, there's one that says, to the crew of the pig.
Well, can I read the group one first?
Yeah, sure. You open it up and you start to read it.
To the crew of the pig. It feels like a lifetime ago that I took this job. I was a different person then, eager to please, but things have shifted. When I came on originally, I just wanted to work in a team with some fun people, delivering supplies to people who needed them, making money for my family back home. I never wanted to kill without cause, kill for something so cheap as money. After this job, I plan on asking to be reassigned to another crew. I think that might be best for everyone. And hey, maybe Brandon can take my place. He's not so bad. Just don't tell him I said that. Consider this letter my 2 weeks' notice. But who knows? The verse is big and time is long. Maybe we'll work again together one day. But for now, some time apart might do us all some good. Your friend, Tiny.
Sawbones is obviously reading this to himself, and for the first time since the incident that where we lost Tiny and Brandon, he actually let the emotion of the situation wash over him, and he sort of like loses the ability to speak. He chokes up, just has to put the pad down for a minute while he realizes what he's reading and kind of what Tiny's intentions were here, and reflects on the fact that even though Tiny knew he was out when push came to shove, on this planet, and through all the hardship that we had, and even right at the end, Tiny was behaving like a full committed part of the crew and continuing to be selfless. And I look down the list of notes, and obviously I know what they are, and it doesn't feel right reading them or listening to them myself. So I listen to the one for myself, and then after that I'll go around and sort of hand the others out to people so they can listen in private.
Sure.
Sawbones. I've always respected you, my Yosoki friend. You are who you say you are. Always have been, always will be. We didn't always agree on the methods for dealing with our problems, but I always knew where we stood when we were together. I'll miss the time we spent on the pig, talking in Yosoki, like being around family. And though I'm leaving the ship, please remember that if you ever need someone to test a new experimental drug on, call me and I'll be there. Just try not to stir up trouble for fun while I'm away, if you can.
And, while Sawbones is doing all of this and going through the computer, I imagine he probably went to his own little corner of this place. Astra's in the back working. What's Burzin doing in this time?
Burzin left some food and some water on the bench next to Astra.
Yeah.
From time to time, over the course of the night, he comes back to see if it's been touched at all. And I'm guessing it hasn't been.
Nope. She's absolutely focused on getting Banshee up and running.
And he wants to go over and say something, but she was pretty firm when she said, leave me alone, I need to focus on my work. So He's going to respect that. But he's gonna go on the search of this tinkerer's shop to see if he can find something to drink and somewhere to lie down and sleep and reflect, sort of thing.
Any self-respecting small business owner keeps a little something in their desk, don't they?
That's what he was anticipating. Yes. Some Capaxi hooch.
Burzin heads back into that small office. The door creaks as you open. It's a wooden door, apparently, in a very advanced society.
In space. Yep.
And you see, the smell of death, and it's really dim lighting in there. You see the dried blood. You head around to the other side. You almost have to kind of mosey up next to this guy to open up the desk.
Is the guy on a desk chair, like a wheelie desk chair?
Yeah, it's like a leather desk chair.
Yeah, he just kind of wheels him out of the way.
Yeah.
Over to the corner and gets into the drawers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you start rifling through the drawers, and sure enough, one of the larger drawers down the bottom, it would normally be locked, but there's a key in it. And you pull it open, and there's a very large bottle of hooch in there.
Yeah, I'll reach in and pick it up. Are there some glasses in there as well?
There's a few glasses in there too. They're looking. One of them is clean, and the other ones are looking quite dusty. This somebody who obviously drinks alone.
He takes 3 of them, heads out of this room, back into the break room to sit on the couch that's in there.
Yeah.
Walks past Astra at the bench, notices again the food and drink hasn't been touched at all. Feels an urge to say something, but again doesn't, and goes and sits in the break room. He pours 3 drinks and picks up the clean one and sits back on the couch. He just starts drinking and thinking,
Yeah.
kind of staring into the middle distance.
Yeah. I'm sure the soundscape of Astra tinkering away is kind of all you can hear. And Sawbones, you finish hearing your message, kind of compose yourself maybe, and start looking around for Burzin. You heard him open up that door and walk out again. You check out the office and you notice that the guy's been wheeled aside and one of the drawers is cracked open. Well, there's only so many places he could be. You walk through and kind of gingerly move past Astra as she's working intently and head around to the break room. And it's in like workshops and stuff like that how they put the cheapest possible door on break rooms, and it's like crappy perspex and that crappy white plastic.
Yep.
So it's like just the illusion of privacy, but that's what it's got in there.
Hollow.
Yeah,
There's
through
no
the glass.
soundproofing in it.
Yeah, through the glass, there's kind of ripped up and torn off stickers on there and all that sort of stuff. But you can see Burzin through there, and you see him kind of knock back a drink and kind of stand up and pour himself another and sit back down on the couch.
Yeah, I walk in, fairly grim. Like you can tell from the look on Sawbones' face that he's not feeling happy, and he's come for a serious chat. Captain, have you got a minute?
Sawbones. Sure. Why not?
So, listen, you remember I grabbed Tiny's personal computer as we ran out from the zombies? Well, I managed to get into it, and yeah, I wasn't prying. I was just to be honest, I was just trying to see if there's anything I could use when I send a note back to his family, letting him know what happened.
No assumptions here, friend.
But look, while I was in there, I came across some notes, and Tiny he decided to leave the crew. He was going to finish this job that we were on, and he was going to ask for a transfer. And look, Tiny being Tiny, he did it right. He didn't do it half-assed. He's actually put a lot of thought into. The paperwork's done, but he's actually written us all individual notes and voice recordings as a way of saying goodbye. Obviously, it's fairly grim now that he's no longer with us, but
right.
But look, I thought I listened to mine. There's kind of a note for everyone, and then there's individual recordings. So look, I've listened to mine. I thought it would be right for you to listen to yours. So
sure.
I sort of hand the personal computer over, and
sure.
So look, if there's nothing else, I'll leave you to it. And I think it's something should be best done in private.
No, well, thank you, Sawbones. And he holds up the bottle. You want a drink?
Oh, I need a drink.
Great. Grab yourself a glass. I'll pour you one.
Yeah, I grab a glass, and I imagine you pour me one, and then I just sort of nod and leave the room.
Sure. And he puts the bottle down, picks up the personal computer, and he scrolls past Brandon and looks at Burzin, and he looks at it for a really long time before he does anything. And finally, just his thumb presses down on his name.
Captain Burzin, I looked up to you when I first joined. I saw you as a role model, my first captain on a real starship. But now, I don't know anymore. Things have become more and more clear to me that we just see this world differently. I believed and still do believe that no matter what, all life is precious. That we should only kill as a last resort to protect others or ourselves. My deepest regret is that we could never come to terms on this. Nothing ever felt as good as when I thought you believed in me. I think, though, that you might have known that. I think you might have used that to get what you want, in spite of what I wanted. It hurts to think about, but I'm probably wrong. You have a good heart. Bruised, but good. Captain, I hope you find what you're looking for out in the black. Though I suspect what you're looking for can only be found inside yourself. Farewell.
As Burzen's listening and nodding, and when he hears that farewell, you just hear the sound of the glass in his hand crack and shatter, and you see his face, like the light from the personal computer, and he just, like, you can see the tears well up in his eyes, and he looks down and away, and puts a computer down on the couch next to him, and takes a swig out of the bottle.
Sawbones, do you go back and join Burzen for a couple more drinks, or do you?
Yeah, like
stay
I
off
waited
from the
and
shop?
no, I wait an appropriate amount of time, because sort of, I know that Tiny's going to have some things to say to the captain, instinctively, and so I sort of wait half an hour or so, and then kind of wander back in there. Captain, that hooch wasn't bad. Do you mind if I sit and we have another?
Sure, Sawbones.
Sit down and pour myself a glass. I say, so listen, I couldn't help but notice that there was a message on there for Brandon as well. Given that Brandon's no longer with us, do you think we should listen to it together and see what Tiny had to say?
I don't know, Sawbones. What do you think?
Well, look, I mean, we could wait for Astra and all listen to it together, I guess. Look, we don't have to. I'm kind of curious. Tiny, for so long, carried a large amount of beef with Brandon, and to think that, at the end there, it was partly him trying to do the right thing by Brandon that caused Tiny to lose his life. I mean,
he tried to save the boy. He kind of had too much beef, Sure, Sawbones. Whatever you think.
Yeah.
I'm here. Burzen grabs the personal computer off the couch next to him and hands it to Sawbones. And you notice that his hand's bleeding. He just hasn't bothered to do anything about it.
Captain, what's happened to your hand?
Well, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's got alcohol on it, so it won't get infected.
Sort of read the room or read the mood, and decide not to push it. And I just reach out and grab the personal computer and press play.
Brandon, I honestly don't know what I feel. I don't know what I feel about you. But I think my feelings about you being in our crew were more about me and my place in the crew. So, man, I'm sorry for being a dick to you. You didn't deserve that. No one does. I don't know if I ever said it, but I was impressed with how well you picked up your life after having such a hard... Well, You're a good guy. I bear you no ill will, and hope you feel the same. For my part in everything, I offer you my hand in friendship. I hope I'll see you again.
So I sort of put the computer down and turn to Burzen. I'm like, that makes me very happy to hear that even though they're both gone, That was one thing I was really struggling with Tiny, was he was just such an asshole to Brandon for reasons I couldn't really understand. So I've received some more personal closure from hearing that. It makes me miss Tiny even more.
And like Burzen's just like, as soon as you look at him, he like kind of looks away. He's like, yeah. I gotta say I didn't quite understand where he was coming from, but he tried to save him in the end. He was one of the good guys. One of the good guys. He just kind of wipes his nose.
Smears blood on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses his other hand.
You got a mustache. You got a little mustache, Captain.
What?
Little blood mustache.
Who?
How far away is Astra from finishing? Like, are we going to sleep and I'm talking to her in the morning?
No,
or?
I've done my little engraving. I've had my prayer. I feel like I'm ready. I can chat. Well, not chat, but you know. You've got your hand up though, so I feel like I should call on you.
Just imagine like you've been working for 24 hours.
Yep.
Focused purely on Banshee.
Yep.
And then like you step back and you're exhausted, and Sawbones walks up. He's like, Astra, I've got something for you to listen to.
And I've got a little fish bar on the end of my bench with a glass of tepid water.
Yeah.
I almost think that's better that she's exhausted hearing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I walk up tentatively behind Astra because I know she's been deep in the robot work for a day now. But as I sort of get closer, I can see that she's sort of stepped back and is just finished muttering some things to herself. So I walk up and say, "Oh, hey lassie, how are you doing? How's the robot coming along?"
Well, it's been a long night, but come and meet her. This is Banshee.
Oh, Banshee. Oh, you've changed the name.
Well, I thought it was only right. And I show you the little party trick where I say Alakazam, and it like shoots out flames across the room.
Holy shit! Fuck, you could have warned me before you did that. That was so quick. And the flame is so long.
Singed
That's
whiskers.
incredible. yeah, exactly. Some smoke just coming from the edge of my whiskers.
I hadn't tested that one yet.
Oh, well, look, you've clearly done a great job. Maybe tomorrow, when we've all had some rest, we can sort of take it out and take it for a test run and see what it can do. So, listen, lass, I've got something I've got to talk to you about. You remember, as we were leaving the garage where we lost Tiny and Brandon, I was able to grab Tiny's personal computer as we ran out, and just while you were tinkering, I was doing some tinkering of my own, and while I was in there, I noticed that Tiny had actually made the decision, and he'd written all the paperwork to actually transfer out of the ship, out of the pig.
Yeah.
I know you and he were close. Did he mention anything like that to you?
No, he didn't, but I had a feeling he wasn't happy anymore. It just wasn't the right fit. I get it. Sometimes it's hard with the captain.
Well, look, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Well, look, I was a bit shocked. I wasn't as close to Tiny as you. I knew that he wasn't necessarily loving the work we were doing, but I felt like he was still really committed and tight, and that we'd just get through it. But clearly, I was wrong. It's made me reflect a little bit about how important it is for us to, maybe spend a bit more time focusing on each other and the relationships in the crew and that sort of thing. I just feel a little bit guilty that I didn't see that coming, or Tiny didn't feel like he could come and talk to us before it happened. But look, it is what it is. And listen, lassie, there was something else on there. As well as preparing all of the paperwork to transfer out, he's actually written each of us he's recorded each of us a voice recording, like a personalized message. So Listen, there's one on there that's for the whole crew. You should have a read of that. And we've listened to the one. I mean, the captain listened to his one, and I've listened to my one. And look, there was one on there for Brandon as well, which was actually really touching. You should have a listen to the one that he left Brandon. But look, there's one on here for you, Lassie, and I just wanted to give it to you, and I'll leave you to your thoughts.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess there's no more I can do here, so I'll find somewhere to sit down and listen. Do you mind if I do it on my own?
No, not at all. Please.
I feel like being on my own.
It's entirely understandable. Just hit me on the comms if you want to chat about anything. I'll leave you to it. I sort of leave the room.
Righto. And I pick up Banshee and I put it on the ground. I nearly made the slip. I put Banshee on the ground up against the wall. And I sort of like lean up against the wall next to it, sort of partially leaning on the Banshee. And I get the computer and I move up to Astra and I press to listen, see what happens.
Astra, you're a good friend, and most importantly, a good person. We both know it. But you let the crew pressure you too easily. You're stronger than you think. My mom always said that if doing the right thing was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Things get hard and the world will keep changing, but don't let the world change you. Don't let it make you too hard. I know you agreed with me when it came to our choices the crew made, but you let me be your voice. With me gone, you're gonna have to be your own voice. You're strong. Stronger than the rest of the crew for sure. Just never lose your heart. When all else is lost, it's the last thing you can count on. These messages are never enough. I can't say everything I want. I think it'd be too hard. You were the closest friend I had on this ship, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for leaving. I just hope that you understand that I think it's what's best for me. I hope you can forgive me. But don't be too sad. Remember, I'll only be a phone call away. Give my best to Bantam.
Oh, gosh.
Goodbye, my friend.
Okay, so...
Whose idea was this?
This is terrible! So Astra's holding the comms in one hand and the pendant in the other and just rests her head back against the wall and just cries. This just... Fuck, he's on the other end of the phone, hey? Actually, she just pressed play again. She just needs to hear his voice one more time. You don't have to do it again, but she's going to do it again.
Just play it again, yeah.
You're a good friend.
I just have to remember that I'm strong and that I can get through this and that, fuck, I can't believe he's gone. He was literally the best friend I had on this ship and was my voice. And fuck, I'm going to find my own now. That's bringing it home hard.
Okay. You just gonna go to sleep now, or like you want to get some rest? What's your plan here?
All right, so I finished listening to the recordings and I lean in and I press the comms unit. I'm like, hey Sawbones, are you there?
Aye, Lassie.
I listened to Tiny and yeah, it's some really heavy shit there.
Aye, I mean, it's so crazy to think that we've got these recordings, obviously because he was going to leave the crew. It's it's a real mess. The captain didn't take it that well, so all of us are dealing with it in our own way. Did you listen to Brandon's recording as well?
Oh no, I don't think I could do that. No, that's just too much.
It's a heavy listen, lass, and we've all had a long few days, so maybe you can just keep a copy of it and listen to it later. It's hard to believe that the two of them used to be at each other's throat. Oh well, I mean, Brandon wasn't at Tiny's throat. Tiny was, constantly at Brandon's throat. But you can hear in the recording at the end that he really, the kid had grown on him, I think, and Tiny was making amends, and it's a lot. I know that you were obviously pretty close to Brandon as well. I know you were close to Tiny, but you were probably closer to Brandon than any of us. You know, how are you coping with it? How are you holding up?
Well, I guess for me, the only thing is that at least he got to live some. You know, with us, he got to choose. And I know he didn't have long to do it, but, you know, at least he got to spend some of his life forging his own path. And I think following Desna was the right thing for him. I think it gave him something outside of his colony, and really, in the end of it, he's going to have done something that meant a lot for everyone. You know, if it wasn't for him and what he saw with that mosquito, you know, I don't think we would ever know what we were up against. I just take solace in that at the end, he did the right thing, and you know, I think he's going to be with us all the whole way.
Aye, and look, you're spot on. I think if any good can come of this, it's that we stop Calderon in his tracks and we make sure that this never happens to any other planet ever again. And Brandon will have had a huge part in that.
Yeah. And Brandon knew, and fortune favors the bold. Well, thanks, Sawbones. Good night. And then, switch off the comms, and I slide down the wall, and I snuggle into Banshee and put my head on it, and just trace the butterfly that I carved into the back as I fall asleep.
Astra, as you sit down next to Banshee, you know, your thoughts drifting to Tiny, Brandon, and even to losses that you experienced earlier in life, you know, with your parents. You know, maybe you start to think about who's left. And as your hand is there resting on Banshee, you start to feel this warmth. It's strange, but it's not uncomfortable. In fact, it's almost like reassuring. And as you glance over at it, it looks like it's glowing. And you suddenly feel this, like, connection. Not to Banshee, but to something else. And you become very, very aware of the presence and location of Burzin in the next room. You look over there, but, you know, you can't see him. The door's closed, the lights are off, but you know exactly where he is. He's sitting on the couch, you know, one foot on a chair, snoring, passed out. You can even sense how much alcohol is in his blood.
You sure she can't just smell it?
But then you start to feel the same thing for Sawbones too. He's in the front of the store, curled up behind the counter and trying to get to sleep. You can sense that there's maybe a little bit of trouble there, but, you know, physically he's fine. And this feeling, as, you know, quickly as it appeared, it starts to fade away. And you're just by yourself again. Astra, you now have the ability to cast the spell Status, which allows you to keep track of your comrades that are separated from you, and you can monitor their positions and any conditions that are affecting them. You can do this once per day as a bit of a sign of your now strengthened and renewed connection with Desna, and of course you'll want to look after and care for those who are around you and whoever's left.
Oh.
You're a mystic, Astra.
Mechanically mysterious. I don't know what I am anymore. I have to take a level in that mystic.
That's your choice, but this is a freebie.
Oh, that's strange. So I'm gonna grab the glass of water that was left out for me, and the salty fish bar thing, and take it into Captain
Fish food.
Burson, because he's obviously the one that's going to need it. He'll be hungover as hell.
Nothing like fish sticks. Nothing like fish sticks when you
Nothing like the
Dried
fish
ass fish food. Here you go.
nom, nom, nom.
It's just crumbling out of his mouth.
You know,
He eats it like Cookie Monster. Yeah.
That's
The
what
Cookie
the water's
Monster.
for.
No.
It would smell so bad.
You know, if
Oh,
you soak
gosh.
it in the water for 20 minutes, it's not so bad.
If you brine it in the alcohol, it's kind of okay.
Here you are, Captain. You can probably use some of this. I hand him the water, maybe not the fish sticks then.
Ugh.
Are you alright?
Huh?
Yeah, I think you need a minute. And I'm gonna walk out and find where Sawbones has gone. Well, I know where he is because I felt where he was. I'm going to where I felt that he was. Sawbones, you up?
Oh, good morning. Morning, lassie. Oh, I had the strangest dream that had you in it. It was very odd.
It's worrying. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, it was nothing. I don't know. I just felt like you were kind of staring at me while I was sleeping. It was weird. Anyway, it was nothing. It was obviously just a weird dream.
Sounds kind of creepy. Are you ready to come out and we can share some of these fish bars? I don't think they're going to be very good, though.
Me neither, but look, it's better than nothing, right?
Well, I don't know. Let's go and see.
How's the captain doing this morning?
He has definitely looked better. I think he'll be okay, though. Hey, Burzin,
Huh?
come into the workshop. Come and meet Banshee.
Okay. Coming. What are we doing?
Oh.
Bleary-eyed, looking around, bloodshot as fuck.
Chewing on a fish snack.
I'll show you some of his new tricks. This one's more of a stealth attack combat drone. So I'm going to set some controls up for it to sort of walk off into the distance behind the workbench, and it just pauses for a moment and blends completely into the background, and you lose sight of it. It's particular.
Roll a
that's
perception
very
check.
cool.
Yeah, go for it.
That's a 13.
Yeah, you don't see shit.
Where did Bantam go?
It's Banshee. This one's Banshee. Bantam, he's not coming back.
Oh.
Banshee,
Oh.
I thought for this one we might like to be able to send it out in front and blend in and get some recon for us. So it's got a lot more distance. I can send it a lot further. It's a lot quieter. And the flamethrower should definitely add a little extra spice to the mix. So
Has it only got a flamethrower, or have you got other guns on
no.
it?
It's got azimuth serpent laser. The auto target rifle.
What?
Oh my god.
So it's
You've built a fucking tank, lassie.
well, yeah, exactly. Well, Bantam wasn't very successful, and I thought he was pretty tanky, but this one, I think we're in for some good backup. I reckon.
Oh, look, in Bantam's defense, like you built him as a to help you repair ships and such, right? I thought he did pretty well.
He did. He repaired ships like no other, but could not hand a spanner over to save himself. Always got it wrong.
I don't know a lot about robots or androids or AI or anything, but does it remember? Does it have memories? Does it remember its life as Bantam?
I mean, I altered that. I could have brought it over and made him exactly the same, but it didn't seem right. I think we lost a lot back there, and I think Bantam was one of them. This one's different. This one's Banshee, and he's going to get us out. He's going to help us get to space, get out of this fucked up place.
Burzen's just like looking at Astra with a wry smile on his face, like, "You done good, kid. Banshee's gonna go a long way to get us out of this place."
Right, you are.
He's just like nodding and smiling. He looks at Sawbones, looks at Astra, and he takes a deep breath.
Oh, god damn. Take a step
Sorry.
back.
Sorry. You know, I've been thinking about the decisions that have been made, and how turn after turn I've made the wrong choice. I can no longer make decisions for us as a group. I've lost too many lives, and I can't do it anymore. I can't be the one responsible for getting more of the people that I care about dead. I'm lost. I'm lost.
Captain, we're not in the military anymore, and we're not trained soldiers.
No.
And we're a long way from it. I can understand why you're feeling a bit down on yourself, but sometimes decisions need to be made, and I'm always grateful that you've been in a position where you feel confident enough to step up and make them. So I don't fault you or hold you to blame for any of where we ended up, but by the same token, I also think, there's only 3 of us.
There's 4.
Sorry, 3 and a robot. 3 men and a robot. 3 people and a robot.
That's great.
So look,
Space Gutenberg.
there's only a small group of us, and we're well out of our normal way of operating, and I think it would be best if the 3 of us made decisions together a little bit more. We're not a large troop of soldiers that need a single person to make decisions. We're 3 people who are all in the same lot of shit and all need to rely on each other. So I appreciate the sentiment, and just know that I've got your back, and I know you've got my back, and Astra, the same goes for you, and Banshee can fucking have my back every day of the week with that flamethrower. My goodness.
Well, staying quiet hasn't served me well so far, so... I mean, Tiny's a wise guy, and he was the one that told me I need to stand up for myself, and this might be the opportunity that I need. I can help you. I can say more. But, fuck, there's a lot of zombies. There's like a fuck ton of zombies.
You're not wrong.
We really need to get a plan and work out where the fuck to go next, because, I mean, I like this workshop, but those fish sticks suck. And the breath's still bad. It didn't help you at all.
I'm sorry. Seriously, Sawbones, come on, make with the electrolytes.
I whip out another biohack and sort of wave my hand over it, and it turns fluorescent purple, like grape Gatorade. Yeah. And I go to hand it to him as though he's going to drink it, but I instead just mainline it straight into his wrist, and he instantly feels extremely hydrated. Like he starts just dripping with extra hydration.
Smelling like
on me.
So I walk up to the workshop table and pull out my pad and
get a holo map. You get a holo map.
Project it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Project the map that we were looking at before.
Is it blue
so that we
or
can start to
green?
plot a course. It's definitely green.
Green. Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Fallout style.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
can you put the map up in Roll20, Tom?
I'm literally looking at it. Go
You are?
into Messenger. It's like the
in
last
Messenger,
thing
man.
that was
We
sent.
talk so
in that
much. It's
Messenger.
not. Right. Okay. Look at the
Scroll down a
media
little
section.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like 4 instances of that photo.
Look, I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just saying I'm lazy.
But still, we're still quite a distance from the spaceport, aren't we? Like, looking at the map, I'm imagining I sort of like, tap a few things on the hologram and sort of I'm measuring the distance from where we are to where we want to go.
Yeah, I mean, as the crow flies versus you actually navigating the streets. So
Without
I mean,
a car,
you can
yeah.
eyeball it as like, oh, okay, we're 5, 8, 10 kilometers away from it. Sure, that's all well and good, but no car. City streets. You don't know what's around any corner.
we
You don't know how far you'd have to detour around anything, any obstacles. If there are any obstacles, could be a straight shot. You don't know.
Maybe they've put up a bunch of barricades between everything in the spaceport.
Maybe. Who knows?
That's what Burzen's thinking. That's the soldier training coming into effect.
Yeah. So, I think we need some options, right? So let's just try to get our options out on the table. So one option is obviously we can just, go at ground level, slowly and carefully, and with the added advantage that Banshee will bring by being able to scout ahead. Another option, we could scout the area here and see if we can find a vehicle or, some sort of way of expediting our travel. The only thing we haven't explored is, are there sewage or drainage tunnels underneath or some sort of public transport or something underneath that we could go by that's perhaps
a
safer?
Subway or sky rail or something.
Can I press a few buttons on the map and see if it'll show me any public transport? Like, I imagine a map like this would have ways of getting around.
Sure, yeah. So
Is there a monorail? Can there be a monorail, please? Just so we can do the monorail song.
Monorail.
Unfortunately...
Are you sent here by the devil? No, good sir, I'm on the level.
Unfortunately, no monorail. Although you may chant to your heart's content. Yeah, you notice to the southwest, there's a central station. This city does actually have a comprehensive underground rail system.
All right. Well, I'm pretty interested in going underground, but I'm hoping that when we get down there might be some sort of service tunnels or something. Because I imagine that there'll still be zombies down there.
Highly likely. It's worth checking out, though.
I like it. I mean, I like that a lot more than being above ground or attempting to ram our way through with a car. And on the map, I want to do like a search for the nearest subway entrance.
Yeah, you notice that there is a line that's a few blocks from you.
Oh, look here! There's an entrance a few blocks from us.
That's the spot.
Well, how about we test out some of Banshee's new features and head him out?
Love it.
Scout
no
the way.
time like the present. All right. Well, is there anything we want to do here in this workshop before we finish up, or should we go? Well, I mean, we're freshly rested.
Well, I'm a bit tired. But
first light.
That's okay.
But didn't you rest?
No, well, not much. I literally worked for 24 hours straight and then passed out for a smidge. But that's okay. I don't need any sleep from a character point of view, but from a flavor point of view,
surely
I'm tired.
You would be. There's a condition called exhausted in Starfinder.
Is that where I'm at?
There is.
No.
But there's also a condition called really good roleplay, and so I'm not going to punish you guys for that. So.
Excellent.
You wake up fresh as a fucking daisy.
I'm gonna put this out there. Feel free to send it right back.
Here we go.
I'm feeling like Burzin is actually mechanically shaken.
What does that mean?
Shaken condition. -2 penalty to ability checks, attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks.
Oof. Well, shake right out of that shaking.
It's up to. Hey, I'm gonna leave it up to Tom. With the quality of the role play, I'm just putting it out there.
That's not my choice, man. If you would like to impose a negative upon yourself as part of your roleplay, then by all means.
Like with the message, he's tried really hard to compartmentalize, but then like that message from Tiny from literally beyond the grave, he's like he's shook. I'm ticking the condition.
Can I
Yeah, fair enough.
plot? Well, can I search along our route that's going to take us to the entry to the underground system and see if there's any ammunition places, anywhere that we could maybe get some better armor for our captain there?
I mean, armor's not the kind of thing that they'd have at a gun shop.
Oh, where will I find the armor emporium?
Yeah, well,
Armor,
that's it.
armor,
Armor.
Yeah.
So you're putting in these search terms into this interface, all about armor, and a suggestion pops up. It says, "Did you mean the Millennium Luxury Mall?"
Did you mean?
Yes, I did, John.
Tell her what she's won, John.
You tap on that, and it gives you a few different stores in the mall that would likely carry armor. But as you're, scrolling through this and looking at it, you see down the bottom that there's actually an advertisement there. And it starts off with a question. It says, would you want to live and fly in luxury every day?
Yes, I
And
would.
It says, then the opus opulence is for you. And below this, it's got this picture of one of the grandest looking vessels that you've ever seen. The outside of the ship is like pearlescent and shining like nothing else. And as you continue to scroll down, you can see that there's interior shots of this ship as well. Images of a fully stocked bar, king-size bed, jacuzzi. All the floors are carpeted in this beautiful, lush, soft fur. Gold-plated railings on stairwells. This ship is just completely over the top. And then below all of this, it says, for your chance to win this ship, spend 100,000 credits or more in the Millennium Luxury Mall. Come on down to the mall and ask for your tour today.
My God, there's a spaceship at the mall.
Big neon sign saying, go here next. Bzz.
Is there an underground railway stop at this
Yeah,
place?
is there a line that goes directly from the museum to the mall?
No.
Sawbones, check it out.
But
you have
Lassie,
to
where are we
kind
going to
of-
get 100,000 credits? I don't think the mall will be open. I don't know if we can make it happen.
And even then, it's just a chance.
To the mall. To the mall, I say.
Well, look,
To the mall.
when you think about it, the spaceport's going to be the place that everyone went to try to get a ship. I think our chances of getting a ship at the spaceport is pretty slim. And I don't know how many people would have put two and two together and,
Gone to the
thought to
luxury
go and-
mall. Yeah.
they probably saw that they'd have to spend 100,000 credits and just went, fuck, where am I going to get that sort of money? So, but they did say that you could tour the ship at the mall. So, who
I
knows?
think that's our best chance, and at the very least, we can kit up so that we have a better AC getting into the spaceport.
Aye. Astra, I really love the way you're thinking.
What do you think, Cap?
I like where your head's at, Astra. I got your back.
Aye, Lassie. I think with your fancy new robot, you need to run point on this operation. So
Righto.
you
All
run
right,
out ahead.
Well, let's see how
Um,
stealthy he
we'll-
can be.
We'll hang back, and you can use Banshee to lead the way.
Well, with a very concrete goal in mind, maybe head to the front door of this place. It sounds like maybe they've backed off, these zombies. You start taking things away, pulling the shelves away, everything like that. And as the beautiful, bright light of the new morning floods into the room, we'll leave our episode there for today.
Yes!
That's
Exactly what I was saying. Just like the door, in the darkness, the door opens and just the
Yeah.
golden light pours in. Fuck.
Excellent.
Star Raiders is an Arcane Focus Network production. Be sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast app. You'd be amazed how much it helps us spread the word.
Fuck. What a sesh.
What a sesh.
Yeah, well played.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say, like, to all of you, I salute you. That was outstanding work by everybody. Like, wow.
I was fully not expecting you to have a whole situation prepped for the computer when I started tinkering with it. I was like, oh, Tom's eyes just lit up when I said about the computer, and I was like, oh, he's quite excied.
Yes.
Tom was probably like, how am I going to get this fuckwit to think about the computer? He's probably forgotten he's picked it up.
Looking for more adventure? Head to arcanefocusnetwork.com.